I'm so used to starting with him, man. God damn it. Sorry.
Well, folks, some people say that sequels stink, but Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is what we just synced.
Word.
Yeah.
That was a good one, man.
I know, right?
That's a funky little rhyme.
Brings you right into the podcast,
It
gets
does.
you going, makes you want to beat your
Fucked
chest.
it up.
That's right. Makes you want to touch your chest.
Yeah.
Language, sir. Language.
I'm so used to this.
We got to keep this stuff clean.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so used to doing the other thing.
It's all right, man. It really is. Welcome, everybody. This is the I Seen It Movie Reviews Podcast. This is our rookie episode.
Yeah, we're off to a rocky start.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that's bound to happen.
You got to let me know these things. That,
I mean, the buttons have been the same for how long?
I mean, they've been the same, but we've always started off with you, so whatever.
It's okay, man. It's okay. I'm not hating on you. It's all good. It's all good, man.
I mean, we should probably just start it over.
You know,
I'm dead serious.
you know, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
I mean, nobody's probably watching on YouTube yet, anyways.
No, probably not. But we'll be okay. We'll get you through this, man. It's okay, man. I love your sweater, man.
It's a rookie episode.
So soft. It's all good, man. It's no big deal. We got this. It's okay. So yes, this is the I Seen It Movie Reviews Podcast. I'm your host, Jerry Saylor. You guys may remember me from another podcast that I did last year and one earlier this year. We're not going to get into that right now. I would like to say, though, this podcast that you're watching and or listening to, it's kind of a reboot. So what better way to kick it off with what I would consider like a reboot? It's obviously a sequel, but Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. I mean, it's a sequel. It plays into the original movie quite a bit.
That's definitely a sequel. Hard sequel. References the original movie.
Right.
The movie that
So, with that being said, though, there are some other voices here. You obviously heard my good friend. I can actually use his real name on this podcast now, Tim Holmes. You heard him at the top of the show. The other man in the studio that you're listening to, he is another one of my great friends. I've known this guy for several years. Super cool guy. I love him to death. He's like my brother from another mother. He is... I almost said it. I almost said it, but I'm holding back. Dustin Buchel.
Dusty B works good, too.
Dusty B, yeah.
It's hard to say that without a preface, but...
Yeah.
Exactly.
It does happen, but, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
So, and this is a good movie to start with for Dustin because, I'm like, you're a big fan of the original movie, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's up there with Jurassic Park and...
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's up there. Like, it was one of my favorite movies.
It definitely brings it back to me, too, like, going back, you know...
Yeah, Jumanji back in
the
the
original.
Like 95.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 11 years old when that movie came out.
Yeah.
Dating myself.
Couldn't have been 11 because I was 11.
Oh, no, I was 9.
Yeah.
I was 9.
I was saying.
Because it was 95. I was born in 86. So. Yeah.
Is that when the first Jumanji came out?
I'm pretty sure Jumanji,
I
the
can look it
original,
up
came
real
out in
quick.
95, yeah. Let's double check that. Fact checker Holmes over here.
He's on the case. He's investigating.
Now, I will say, I went into this movie thinking I was going to absolutely hate it.
I agree. I think I did as well.
With a cast like, you got The Rock, you got Kevin Hart, you got Jack Black. I know you're not a Jack Black fan. And...
95.
95? See, I was right.
Okay.
And Karen, help me out, is it Gillan?
Gillan. Yeah.
Karen Gillan. With the Nick Jonas guy who came in like halfway through, and then, spoiler alert, Colin Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
At the very end of it. I was really surprised.
5 minutes.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that.
A couple smaller name, but for comedy fans, you pointed out the teacher in the beginning was Workaholics.
Yeah, she was the lady she was the boss from Workaholics. She was in that.
And the principal is a kind of a comedic actor, too. He's been in mostly like TV shows and stuff, but always kind of a funny actor.
Yeah. And then one of the bad guys in it was also kind of like played a small part of the TV show. He was on Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
He was on Mr. Robot. And what was the other thing you said he was in?
Bobby Cannavale. He was in a TV show on HBO called Vinyl.
He said he was on like SVU too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he has a lot of like little small reoccurring bits.
Holmes on it,
but an actor on the rise.
What was the girl's name in this? The girl that was Ruby Roundhouse.
That's
Karen Gillan.
Gillan.
I keep saying Gillan.
No, what was the younger girl?
The younger actress?
Yeah, the actress that.
I don't know, but she looked a hell of a lot like Ali Sheedy.
She did.
To me, she looked like Jillian Bell's like little sister. The girl. She was also on Workaholics. Like the.
Oh, I know who you're talking
bigger
about.
chick,
Yeah,
she looked a lot like her.
Kinda, yeah.
Like
They could
like
definitely
she'd
be
like her
related.
sister or something.
So that was Morgan Turner.
Okay.
She was in Invincible, Remember Me, Wonderstruck, Halal in the Family.
Never heard of really any of those. Honestly.
Yeah, Blue Blood. She was in one episode.
That's
Mercy.
a decent show.
Yeah, Invincible was like the first thing that she was ever in. That's that Marky Mark movie.
Fix his camera.
Oh.
Oh, it's a little low. There you go.
It's all
There
good.
we go. That's a lot better. Okay, sorry.
But-
That was just annoying me.
But yeah, like I was saying, with an all-star cast like that, you would think this movie is going to be just blockbuster fucking... drop the F-bomb.
Told you,
I
man,
got to
it's
keep
hard.
it clean, man. You'd think this movie would be like blockbuster, balls to the wall, awesome. What the heck is that noise?
Somebody's trying to hack us in.
Oh, well.
They're trying to hack
Hijacking
us.
our signal.
Rookie episode here, guys. We've been only doing this for 5 years. You think we'd have all the bugs worked out by now. But honestly, like I said, I went into this movie thinking it was going to suck, mainly because I'm such a huge fan of the original.
Never replace the original.
No. And do I think it even comes close? No. Was
No.
it decent by itself? Decent. Would I watch it again? Maybe.
Well, let's break it
Yeah.
down for spoilers.
Yeah.
So the movie, like we said in the beginning, it picks up right where pretty much Jumanji leaves off with the
game board in the sand
like
on the
kind of
beach.
twist ending. The M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end of Jumanji was that the game didn't actually go away.
Yeah.
It resurfaces.
Yeah.
And when it gets resurfaced, some kids pick it up on the beach. It makes a way into
A dad picks it up on the beach.
a dad. I thought it was some kid.
So it was the kid's dad. That picked it
I
up.
can't remember how the original ended,
right.
but I know in this one it shows
starts off.
It starts off with the dad on the beach. You don't know he's a dad until
Right.
he goes home and he's like, "Hey son, look
Found
what
this-
I found."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't play board games. Blah 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 blah. Just
Yeah.
throws it up on his dresser. Pretty
And
much.
when he goes to bed, the game zaps into his PlayStation. Looks like a PlayStation system.
Yeah.
And
And
it turns into a cartridge.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, well, and not only that, like the whole, like you see him holding what appears to be
A PlayStation
PlayStation
controller.
controller, which is in '96. It's got to be PlayStation 1.
Right. The
Okay.
OG.
Yeah, I mean that's like the year it allegedly all happened was 1996, which now that I think about it is really close to the release date of the original, which I'm assuming was released in 1990 or was set in 1995.
Well, there is a time jump in the movie. So it goes from when
Well, it's like the 60s or
Robin
whatever.
Williams was a boy,
Mm-hmm.
and then it jumps like, what, 15, 20 years in the future?
I think he goes farther than that.
Yeah,
He's
it's
old.
been a
Yeah,
long
he's an
time.
old guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
So
an
it's
old-
like 30, 40 years in
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah, talking 30, 40 years,
years.
long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
A really long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're guessing
Yeah.
that,
I'm assuming that it
given
takes
the movie
place
the
in
benefit of the
95.
doubt, that it picks up right where the original leaves off.
Timeline's
Yeah.
kind of screwy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he, jumps into the future a little bit further, and
Which I'm assuming is present day now, right?
right,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's cell phones, Instagram, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it picks up with like a Breakfast Club type group.
You know, I was really getting the Breakfasty Club vibe.
I mean, with Ali Sheedy.
with the Ali Sheedy looking girl there, yeah. I was definitely kind of picking up on that.
Yeah, me too.
Because not only that, you've got the
Jock,
you've got the jock,
The nerd.
you've got the
the
nerd.
misfit.
I don't think there was really.
There
not
really
much
girl
of a-
was kind of the
there was no
misfit.
Judd Nelson though.
Not a Judd Nelson, but the girl was the Ali Sheedy.
Yeah,
And then you had the blonde girl.
the
was,
pretty girl was Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah,
So yeah, you're not really complete without a Judd Nelson.
no.
She was like a nerd miss.
Which I guess-
no, the Judd
Yes,
Nelson.
it
Yeah,
is
it's
the
kinda-
pilot, Nick
yeah,
Jonas.
Yeah, the guy, the kid who originally plays the game and gets sucked in.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
Colin Hanks.
Yeah,
He
essentially.
should have thrown a fist up at the end.
Oh, dude.
That would have been perfect.
That was probably the cutscene at
Yeah.
the end that we didn't stay for. Yeah. But yeah, definitely getting the Breakfast Club vibe.
Yeah.
From that.
It actually all adds up with because he was like a metalhead. He's wearing a Metallica T-shirt and stuff in the beginning. So they all get detention, which in this movie, all you need to do to get detention is have a teacher to look at you and say, you got detention.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And that just seals the deal.
The only two people who really like deserved detention, or even worse than detention,
was the
main character and the jock, because they got caught cheating.
Yeah.
And the nerdy kid even like admitted to it. He was just like, yeah, I made him do it. I made him make me do his homework for him.
Right.
And I mean that deserves more than just detention.
Yeah, I mean that's suspension, expulsion kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot worse than detention.
So they all get detention, and in detention they're forced to clean up like a storeroom or something.
Yeah,
in
they got
school.
to pull staples out of magazine spines.
Right.
Something like that. But now here's what gets me, okay? And Dusty B, he was a big drew a lot of attention to this in the beginning. How in the world did the game... Go ahead.
How the fuck did the game...
Come on,
man, I
Dusty
can't help
B.
it. How did the game end up at the school?
Yeah, it goes from... Because in the movie, it jumps from kid in the beginning getting sucked into the game.
Well, finds it in the... Oh, I thought we were going back to the
dad
OG.
the dad takes the game home. The kid's like, this is a board game. I don't really mess with these. Throws it on his dresser. Miraculously
it turns into a game by itself.
He opens
somehow.
it up, and there's a cartridge inside
right.
of Jumanji, and then I guess somehow he gets sucked into it, and then after that, how did
it go from
and
shelf
also,
in his room to
the
basement of the school? Yeah.
So I have two theories here.
They got donated.
Well, I mean. But the house looks all dilapidated, not kept up.
The guy's still living there, though.
The guy's still living there, and you would think, I mean, with that kind of logic, you would think that he would just, much like the original movie, the kids disappear, or a kid disappears, his kid disappears,
right?
And the box just the game finds its way to the attic because he was like,
I'm not going to get rid of my son's stuff,
right?
And what would he even know what the game system was?
Right.
He wouldn't know that it was the Jumanji game system,
right,
or whatnot.
So, I mean, the only logic that we're left with, logical logic, or I guess lateral logic, is that the game got donated to the school.
That's what I was saying.
And they even pull it out of a donations box.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, like when the kid finds it and he pulls it out of the box.
The box is labeled.
The box says donations.
So that was like a quick. Oh, we could just put this on here.
Yeah, we could put it wherever we want. They could have found it at Goodwill for all we know.
The other theory, I guess, that I came up with while watching the movie was just that, much like the Lord of the Rings, the game wants to be completed. It can't just stay an open circuit forever. You know what I mean? Like in the original, all the pieces and everything are still in play when the kids find it. Until someone rolls a 5 or
an 8.
Yeah.
So that was my theory, kind of going with too. Like how I made sense of it in my head was just that the game needed to be played. I think it'd have been better if
the game wants somebody to play
finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially. Do you think the game really wants somebody to finish it, or do you think it wants to claim souls?
I mean, that doesn't. I mean, when you so jump forward to the ending, the game doesn't seem upset that somebody beat it.
True.
I mean, the way the game opens is a way for those who wish to find.
I can't remember.
Something this world to leave behind, or something like that.
Something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's kind of like a life building exercise. The game wants to make you a better person, because there's always a lesson to be learned.
Do you think they had the same? Did you get the same message from the original though?
I did.
No, because the original is kind of finish what you start, and learn bravery, and that kind of YOLO thing that happens in this movie.
Right. And the YOLO thing in this movie, in the sequel, is dominant throughout.
Right.
I felt I was getting that vibe, and then they actually bring it up
So
and they did everything but say flat out YOLO.
yeah.
You know.
So to give context to what we're talking about is the kids get transported inside the game. They find out that their avatars are, gifted with qualities.
It's like a true video game. You have certain abilities per character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the geek, the geek gets to be an invulnerable hero. You're Indiana Jones type.
And
Right.
no weaknesses.
Yeah, no weaknesses.
No weakness at all. It's kind of like they turned into the exact opposites of themselves.
Pretty much.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the nerdy guy, he turns into the Rock. Who's
Right.
like buff, has no weaknesses, like you said.
The football player
Turns into like the short,
shrimpy-
short
slow
shrimpy
guy.
guy. Yeah.
He's
who's
slow.
more of a geek because he has the zoology.
Yeah, he's a zoologist. The cute but not girly girl turns into like the beautiful starlet of the movie.
Right. Who dance fights.
Yeah. And then you've got Jack Black's character who
Was the pretty girl.
was
in
the pretty girl
school,
taking selfies and all kinds of stuff.
Is then
Flirts
the-
with dudes.
Yeah.
You know.
That role kind of surprised me. I think he did a pretty good job.
You know, I will
I
say
was really like, I usually talk crap about Jack Black, but that was a pretty good role.
He sold it.
Yeah.
He sold it pretty.
Yeah.
He was stuck in that girl, like frou-frou girl mode almost the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Which he did a really good job of it.
I think so too. I mean, like, I guess you could say that like a Rob Schneider would have been a comparable, because you see him
he
play,
did the hot chick.
That's
Yeah.
what I say, yeah.
and he kind of does the same thing. Kind of. I thought he was good. I'm with you. I thought he was good. There's certain moments where he really sells it.
Yeah. The whole when he had to urinate.
Yeah, that was
Scene.
good.
That
When
was
he's
really good.
teaching Ruby Roundhouse, the
How to
loner
flirt
girl, how
and
to
stuff.
flirt. That
How
was
to
a
walk.
really good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the walk and
The walk was
everything.
good.
So about taking it back to what why we started going back into context, the character building, or each of them have a tattoo on their arm of their lives.
It appears to be a tattoo.
Yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
doesn't actually say it's. I mean, they say, "Oh, I got a tattoo on my arm,"
right.
but let's be real. Tattoos don't disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of video games use tattoos as lives. and
Oh, do
things like
they?
that. Yeah, like they
Oh.
had to play the Jurassic Park game where the chick had a tattoo on her breast, and you could see hey,
Oh,
how
what? I
Yeah.
didn't play that game.
It was
Check
called
that out.
Trespasser. It was a good game.
Oh, that's an
Oh.
old game too.
It's an old game. Yeah, it was like
Okay.
Windows 98.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Okay, so they got
So,
tattoos on their arms.
of their representative lives,
Right.
and
Lives in the video game.
right,
Much like Mario has lives.
right.
Right.
And that comes full circle towards the end of the film, where, even towards the middle when they meet Nick Jonas's character, he's on his remaining life.
Right.
And the assumption is if you die, if you lose that last life in the game, you probably lose it in real life.
So you think they just completely die?
Yeah, I guess so. Or they're
They're just never to be found.
Yeah.
They're just dead.
vanished without a trace.
Yeah.
Murderous game.
Yeah. So the real punch of the message in the movie is, in real life you only have one life.
Right.
And that's what the fear was. What was stopping the geeky character is that he didn't want to lose his final life. And I forget his name. Fridge.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's
character gives him that speech of like, hey, in real life you only have one life. You know.
Make the best of it. Be
Yeah,
brave. Be
brave.
courageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also calls back to the principal. He even says that he's quoting the principal from the beginning of the movie
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you guys think about like the story? Were you sold on the story? Or what do you think was like the weakest thing of the movie? Because I'm guessing you guys didn't much care for it.
I mean, it's not that I didn't care for it. I probably feel like the same way Dusty B did. You know, like I was going into this movie thinking I was going to hate it. It was actually decent by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just different. I mean, I can't say there was really anything that I liked about it. Like the action wasn't like, oh my god, look at that action, that's awesome. But
Well, to be fair, the theater we were watching it in wasn't up
High
to par.
quality.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't up.
wasn't no Dolby Digital.
There were some issues.
Yeah. But I mean, even then, even with that being said, I think if we had seen it in a better theater, I still don't think I'd have been all that excited by it. I mean, The Rock, I mean, right off the bat, as soon as you see The Rock, the first thing he does is give you the people's eyebrow.
Yeah, that's his first moment on camera.
Literally, as soon as you see his face, it's eyebrow up.
Yeah.
I can't even do it.
I can't do it either.
Yeah. But
You
like,
can't do that? There it is.
is that it?
Yeah,
A little
Am I doing
bit.
it?
A little bit.
But and like The Rock, I think is a really good actor in certain roles when he's not playing the big beefy
Action stuff.
action star. You know, like even in like Walking Tall, we actually talked about that during the movie. Like I think his performance in that movie was great. You know, like the G.I. Joe movies, yeah, he still does the friggin' eyebrow thing.
Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
You know, but I think he's much better than what he gives himself credit for, or what he allows to be on film.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, I think kind of his role these days is just being star power.
Yeah,
I mean, he can sell a movie.
he sure can.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of movies. I mean, probably part of the reason why we agreed to watch this and be our flagship movie, and to even give it a chance, is that The Rock is in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I mean,
That and it was like a sequel, and what we're kind of doing is like a sequel.
right?
You know, it's only fitting. You know,
I did think that it missed out on a couple opportunities to give game
Homage.
homage.
That's how I
Yeah,
feel, too.
there is some game homage.
It ain't as much as I'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as much as you'd like.
I would have liked the movie to have been a little bit more, like realistic to gaming.
Yeah.
Like I wish they would have figured out a way to cheat somehow,
Well, and that
or
no,
mod the game.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Because the original movie, a major plot point is cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he turns into a monkey.
Yeah.
yeah,
And in Zathura, which is basically a sequel to Jumanji as well.
What?
Zathura,
I've never
it's
heard
written.
that.
It's written by the same author. It's about a video board game that when you start playing it, the things that happen in the board game happen in real life.
Okay.
I mean, it's exact same. The house becomes a spaceship. They're going through space. They find a guy that had played the game and had cheated, or not cheated. Spoilers for Zathura. He wished that his brother never existed, and without his brother playing the game, he gets lost in space.
Ah.
And then you find out, M. Night Shyamalan twist, that he is actually the original Josh Hutcherson, who's the main character. He's him all grown up. That kind of, yeah.
Hold on, this is a movie?
Yeah, Zathura. It's really good.
No, I didn't know.
Dax Shepard, Josh Hutcherson. It's a good
Oh, if
movie.
it's got Dax Shepard in it, I don't think so.
You don't like Dax Shepard?
No, I'm just kidding. It's
Oh.
okay.
Oh, man,
He's just never
Kristen
been in really
Stewart,
great
I
movies.
think, is in it too.
Could be.
I need fact checked on that, but anyway, yeah.
But yeah, the cheating thing, I think
is
they
a
definitely.
major plot point when you come
Yeah.
to playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should have cheated.
they should have cheated. I don't
didn't
know
see
which
what
character.
happened.
Yeah, I don't know which character should have cheated, but
Probably
somebody
would
should
have
have
been the
cheated.
football player
Probably.
because he cheated on his
Yeah.
papers.
Yeah, that's true. They should have thrown that in there.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Big
miss.
missed
Yeah.
swing and a miss on that.
Yeah.
I guess the reason they probably didn't do that,
Because cheating in video games doesn't break the game.
and a lot of
But
times
it doesn't in a board game either.
Yeah,
No.
but I think the reason they didn't do it is because they did it in the first one, and they're trying to. They're using that as like a push off, but they don't want to like copy the first movie.
Yeah.
You know, like if they did everything they did in the first movie, they just say, "Oh, that's like Star Wars: Force Awakens." You know, it's a blatant remake of the original.
The big
You know what would have
thing-
been good? A good joke that they could have had
What's that?
is have one of the guys stand up and start walking back and forth, like up, down, left, right, left,
Ah,
right.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like walking, like, what are you doing, man? And he's like, I'm trying to find a cheat code
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, at least throw that in there.
Yeah.
Maybe not have them actually cheat, but have them try to cheat.
Yeah.
Trying to get invincible weapons, man.
Yeah.
Give up my
I
money.
need infinite ammo.
Yeah.
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 My thing was, I wish they did the rhyming, like the poem.
They did a little bit
They
of
did a
it.
little
But not
bit,
as
but they
much.
missed
Like twice, I
yeah,
think.
they only
in
did
the
it
one.
like twice. So like, I think every role that they had in the first one was
Oh, yeah.
it would appear and they would have to read it, and then
Yeah.
that was it. They'd have to figure out what came next. You know, like the plants started growing out of the house. It was a stampede.
Monkeys in the kitchen.
Yeah. It was a bunch of rain. Like was it like
A
a
tiger.
typhoon or something?
Oh, the
yeah.
typhoon, yeah.
And
And
then
Monsoon.
Hunter,
Monsoon.
Realistically, there was like maybe 4 levels levels in
Yeah.
their Jumanji video game.
Yeah.
Totally unrealistic, because let's be honest here, no video game has like 4 levels.
No.
That you beat 4 levels, and then you're done.
And the fact that he drove a motorcycle up a 90-degree angle, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or fly a helicopter at a 90-degree angle.
Or completely just fly a helicopter out of a barn without hurting the blades on it at all. I have that as my notes. Like, can't fly a helicopter out of a barn.
Yeah. I thought they would go up through the roof.
Through the roof.
But to see him like come full force out the doors,
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
Yeah.
nah.
Reach up there and replace that part that's spinning really fast.
Yeah.
Because it helps us land and stuff. I'm like, that's got to be moving or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in the movie that, granted, it is a movie, really not believable. I mean, I guess if you consider it's a video game inside of a movie, it makes it like twice as not believable.
Right.
You know, because I mean, trust me, I've flown a lot of helicopters in GTA.
Straight through a building.
Yeah, but I've never turned one 90 degrees on its side and not crashed horribly.
Right.
So
No, that's 100%.
yeah, I'm all about a movie that's believable within reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we spent some time finding the flaws, the things I think that made the movie
well,
good.
no, we didn't talk about the biggest flaw of all, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
And this, I was sold on this movie until the very end. Okay. To kind of preface this a little bit here. 1996, the kid gets sucked into the game. Okay. He's in the game for 20 years, and then the other kids show up and they beat the game. Well, at the end of the movie, when they all get sucked back out of the game, the original kid, miraculously goes back to originally when he got sucked into the game. So when the other kids go back, they're in their time, 20 years in his future.
Right.
He shows up. His house isn't a wreck like it was. He's all grown up.
His dad's not grumpy.
His dad's not grumpy and shit. And it's like, okay, I don't get it here. Like, I'm huge on like the time travel thing, and that was another big thing that I had a problem with Back to the Future Part 2. Like,
Even at the end of part 1, when he comes back and his life is like his dad and mom are successful. His dad wrote the book based on basically what he did
pretty much
30 years in the past.
But like, if you're gonna do time travel, which I don't even know if you would consider that time travel, I mean, it kind of is.
That is time travel.
If you think about it, because he actually spent 20 years inside Jumanji, and then when he comes out, he's grown up, and it was like nothing happened. Whereas in the original, when Robin Williams comes out, yes, he's older, but it's not all back to normal like it was. It's still messed up.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody that was looking for him was crazy and stuff.
He never got to get back with his dad.
Yeah, never got to go back with his dad.
Yeah.
None of that stuff. He came out and he was like old, and people thought he was crazy. I think they should have.
But at the end, when
done
the
that.
movie retcons itself, the movie doesn't fix the kid's present, it fixes his past. It takes Robin Williams back to when he was a kid.
What, in the first one?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they
Because they do beat the game, yeah.
it changes everything back to when they were kids.
You're right.
And
don't
then they
remember
grow up and they're having a Christmas party.
Yeah, remember?
And Kirsten Dunst and the little boy show up at the Christmas party, and they don't know Robin Williams and the woman. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
And
But
they
he
knew
knows
them.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, that's like the very end. Man, I'm glad you brought that up, because
Yeah.
I totally forgot all about that.
So
You're
the
right.
ending is kind of accurate then.
Well,
Not really, but kind
because
of
they know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know each other in the new one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that means that Colin Hanks grew up, left home, started a family of his own, and then comes back to visit his dad on the day that the kids finish the game,
And the house
and then
looks
he
better.
meets them in the street.
Coincidentally.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of...
He's been watching them like,
yeah, waiting for them to like,
I
"Do
can't
they
let
notice
them
me?
see me.
I'm wearing my metal shirt today.
Yeah.
They notice?
I didn't wear it at all when they saw me.
But I told him I was a metalhead.
Yeah. Did he say that?
Yeah, he told Bethany, the hot girl, he tells Jack Black that he was a metalhead. And he's a drummer like his father.
I remember
yeah,
the
yeah,
drummer,
I
but I
remember
don't
that.
remember the metalhead.
Yeah, I
part.
definitely
Yeah, he
remember
says
the drummer
metalhead.
part.
Okay.
But yeah, still.
That is.
If it had been an ending like the original Jumanji, now that I'm thinking about it, brain fart, I would have been a lot happier with that. But the fact that he goes back to his original time in place or whatever, and then grows up, and the kids still remember him,
Yeah.
it's just kind of salty on my part.
It makes the ending a little bit too coincidental and I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like perfect. He just happens to show up. He doesn't know what day they played the game. He doesn't know their time difference. He only knows it's 20 years.
Right.
So
in actuality, it's been 21.
Right.
96. That movie came out in 2017, last year.
Right.
Get a little nitpicky there, man.
Oh, dude, you got to nitpick. You got to nitpick, man.
Yeah.
So
bad endings ruin good movies. You have to nitpick.
I don't think it was a good movie.
I'm with you. I don't think it was good by any part. Would I pay to see it again?
Hold on. Wait.
Absolutely not.
If we talked about the flaws, we got to talk about the good things.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So
hit me with them.
I like the acting of Karen Gillan, Kevin Hart, which he's still playing Kevin Hart. There wasn't enough.
The Rock played The Rock. Kevin Hart played Kevin Hart.
But The Rock played the kid playing The Rock.
He played the kid pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. You don't see enough of Fridge to equate him to being Kevin Hart. He should have been doing more Kevin Hart type stuff if Kevin Hart was going to play Kevin Hart.
Right.
The kid should have been more Kevin Hart when he was a kid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because The Rock, there's parts of the movie where The Rock is like, like when he has those cute moments with Karen Gillan.
Like, don't cry, don't cry,
yeah,
don't cry.
Yeah. There's parts where he's playing the kid.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're trying to say. In all of the characters except Kevin Hart's character, you can see
the kids inside
them. Yeah,
I
agree.
When he was trying to beat up The Rock, when he's like pushing him and like
kind of a bully.
That's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't think Kevin Hart would try to pick a fight with The Rock.
The thing is about it's kind of like what we said. He's like pretty much the opposite of like what he is. He's a football player, but now he's shrunken down to size, and he still has that.
But you don't see a lot of that personality,
that tenacity,
Kevin Hart personality in him. That like oh come on, man, that kind of Kevin Hart stuff. I don't know the way that Kevin Hart is in the I don't know. He doesn't do much of the kid acting as the other guys do. And that would have been fine if the kid actor was more like Kevin Hart in his real life in the beginning part of the movie.
Yeah, because he's not at all. He's not like not funny.
He's all cool, calm, collected.
Seems that way, yeah.
I mean, like there's when Jack Black is peeing, he's like, I should be Instagramming this, or like doing the girl thing.
Right.
And when Karen Gillan has that whole part where she's trying to flirt with the bad guys, she can't be Karen Gillan because she's the nerdy girl in real life.
Right.
And she can't flirt with guys.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with
but
you on that.
I did think that was like the strongest part of the movie. The strongest aspect of the movie was the kid acting, or the adult actors doing the kid acting. Mm-hmm. Also, I didn't think the special effects were all that bad.
Really?
I didn't have I wasn't blown away, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I liked the jungle mystique, jungle magic, the scenes where the guys are riding the motorcycles over the hill when they jump off the waterfall. The fight scene when Karen Gillan whoops those dudes' asses.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
When they were in the town.
Yeah. Or
the what was it called? The what'd they call it? The little area they had to go to find the missing piece.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Man.
The other thing that I really liked was the tree house that Alan Parrish built.
Oh, that was homage to
Robin Williams' character.
Yeah, I have that in my notes as well.
I did like that as well. I thought that was a good little homage back to the original movie.
Yeah.
I kind of got the feel that he was like, he kind of knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know? Like he was like, he built this place. Like,
Yeah.
How come it couldn't have just been some other player that came and scratched his name in this?
Right.
You know, how does he know he built it?
Right.
You know.
He doesn't know who Alan Parrish is. I mean, he shouldn't know who Alan Parrish is.
Yeah.
But again, they live in the town that Alan Parrish lived in.
Yeah. We're assuming
Yeah.
it's the same town. Maybe everybody just knows the Alan Parrish thing. But then again, at the end of Jumanji 1, he goes back in time, and nobody knows who he is.
Right. He didn't disappear for 20 years
Right.
or 30 years or however long. Yeah, that's true.
So they can't be like, you and that other guy disappeared for
Yeah.
20 years. And he came back. And now you're going to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My thing is the hunter, the hunter guy. Remember the guy?
Van Pelt.
Van Pelt. So from, I guess, this is supposed to be in this one. It's supposed to be his son.
That I'm not for sure on.
From what I read somewhere, it was supposed to be his son. But there's not a whole lot of backstory about this villain in this
That's
movie.
true. And he bears the same name as the original guy.
Yes.
And the original guy he was a villain. I mean, he's going after Robin Williams, but he gets a chance to kill that little boy, and he doesn't do it because he's only after Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So like he was a bad guy, but he wasn't like a psychotic. I gotta, control animals and gotta bring the curse to destroy Jumanji. And like he was just a bad thing that came out of the game, only for Robin Williams.
Right.
So
he could have killed a lot more people.
I didn't see the necessity to build mythology based on that character, so to say.
I think it would have been better. Like I kind of agree with Dusty here. I think it would have been better to. I don't even know if it would be possible to have the original guy.
Yeah.
Have him as like not like a level, but still, I guess, have him a part of the game.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of did with the whole Van Pelt name.
Yeah.
But even then, it was like.
That's the only other human character that came out that was dealt with the game. So I guess that was the only reason why they had to create a villain out of him, or add more mythology to him.
The whole getting the whole emerald thing out of the eye was kind of like, come on, you guys couldn't think of something better?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. In the original game, they have to get. Do they have to get to a mountain? Is that the way?
No,
you
they
end
just have to. They just have to finish the game.
But where does the game end? You know what I'm saying?
At the jewel thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess.
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
But I guess the original didn't really lay out like the backstory of Jumanji to begin with.
If there was a bit of a backstory, that would have made a lot. It would have helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think the only setup that you get for Jumanji is a way for those who wish to find a way to leave this world behind. I don't know.
Now, would you have rather, in this one, would you rather have Jumanji taken place inside of the video game, or would you rather take it place in like real world, kind of like it did in the first one?
I mean, I thought like a part that captured my imagination is you see Robin Williams disappear, or young Robin Williams disappear. And then when he comes back, he's like all covered in banana leaves.
Yeah.
And he has that full beard, and he looks he's crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, what the hell did that guy see inside the game?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you
now,
it takes you there, pretty much.
And now that we're inside the game, we don't see really any of that.
No banana leaves.
No, the characters have like, normal clothes on,
but that's because it had morphed into a video game.
And I guess it has to evolve somehow. But
so there were things that the movie misses for the video game references, but a couple of things that it did get right was the Ruby Roundhouse character is wearing almost next to nothing, which was a controversy when they first announced that this movie was being made. They showed a picture of the cast. They leaked a picture of the cast, and people freaked out when they saw Karen Gillan's wardrobe as a halter top and shorts.
Why? That's the thing about. I think that's, to me, that's like Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
right, but there was no reference to a video game. There was just Jumanji 2.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And this is the cast.
Okay,
yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, come on, you're in a jungle and she's just wearing shorts."
I remember that now.
Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh no, it's a video game," and that's a moment in the movies.
Yeah.
Did anybody else get really surprised when this movie was finally released? let me explain here. I thought this movie was already out.
Yeah.
I thought it was a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
And I thought it flopped because like earlier in 2017, you kept seeing all the trailers for it, and everybody was hyped about it.
It dropped
and then
off.
it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
I thought the movie already came out, and I thought it flopped, and then all of a sudden it comes out like officially in December, and I was like, what? They're bringing this back to theaters?
You said that.
Yeah.
I actually said like, well, Jumanji comes out. You're like, dude, it's already out. I'm like, no, it's coming back out. You're like, they're bringing it back. I'm like, no.
I was like, I think it's
It's
coming
never
out
out.
on Blu-ray now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I thought it totally flopped, and it just kind of went away. And lo and behold, it didn't flop. It didn't even come out yet. It just was released like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised by that.
Yeah.
That was the biggest shock to me about the whole movie.
Same here. I really did think that this movie was a summer blockbuster and that it was coming out on Blu-ray when they started advertising it.
Again.
I guess it was just a long rollout.
Yeah.
Like they made you wait for this movie.
A
It's
long
Jumanji,
time.
bro. I guess that's why. I don't know.
So, is there any other good things to point out? Did you guys like Nick Jonas?
He was all right. One thing that I thought saved the movie for me, and it may go hand in hand with the acting, but the humor in the movie. Like there were several parts in the movie where all three of us laughed out loud.
The snake scene?
Yeah. I mean, there was at least a dozen times
Yeah,
where we all at least
Kevin
chuckled
Hart
a little
was
bit.
Kevin Hart, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I'm not ever a really big Kevin Hart fan, but he's got his moments.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
pretty funny.
I'm with you on Kevin Hart. I'm
Yeah,
not.
so I'm not like, oh my God, let's go watch Kevin Hart. But I mean, he had his moments. I felt that, like I said, I felt the same way. Jack Black, but Jack Black to me played his part really, really good. Like I said.
Yeah, he's sold.
I think the reason you like him in this movie
because
so
the
much
chick is.
because he's not playing Jack
because
Black.
he's not playing Jack Black.
Yeah,
he's
probably.
playing. He actually
Was-
tried to not play himself
Yeah, I could see
and played
that.
a teenage girl.
Yeah, he played a teenage girl really well.
Yeah.
So.
I thought the stuff with The Rock not being The Rock except for the action sequences, I thought was really good too. I thought his character was, better for that. The fact that he was shy and stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like, that to jump back into a previous segment, but the Bobby Cannavale, the bad guy, do you guys know what he was trying to do?
Just keep the stone, I guess.
Yeah.
But for what?
Because if the stone is out of the eye of the statue thing, I guess he controls
All the animals?
all the animals. Yeah,
That- I
He
wish they
controlled
would have-
people too. I thought, didn't he?
I think
I
so.
thought they
Yeah.
showed him like controlling people. So
Yeah.
I guess he had mind control of all these.
One
people.
thing I didn't get was like he doesn't have the stone, but yet he can still he's
Do it.
still controlling people and animals.
Mhm.
He's
for
still
that matter.
under that spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess whoever takes it out is like the
cursed, but not really cursed 'cause
Until
they
it
have
goes
special
back.
powers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish there was a
It's
little
weird.
bit more explanation there.
Right. I wish it would have been something like he had the stone and they had to get it from him
Mm-hmm.
and then get it back. Like they think they beat the game when they defeat him, but now they've got to go
Get
put
to
it
it.
back somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that. I like that version a lot better.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Like now, once they defeat him, now it's easier because he doesn't have control of all the animals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We had like, what do you have? Like a worm crawling in his ear.
it was like a millipede or some
yeah,
shit.
Like a
scorpion coming out
crawling
of
out
his
of his mouth.
mouth. And
Yeah.
he had he had a tarantula crop his arm and
Yeah.
something with a snake too. I thought,
He
didn't
made
he?
the jaguars or panthers or whatever they were chase after the kids.
They had night vision
Yeah.
goggles.
I think he made the snakes turn on the
Oh yeah.
the Ruby
Yeah.
Roundhouse character too.
Yeah.
Because
That's
the
another thing.
venom was her weakness.
Yeah, venom was her weakness, but she got bit, and then she respawned right next to the rock with the jewel.
Yeah.
Usually in a video game, if you have an item and you die, that item drops right there.
Especially a game-breaking item.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, like that was the key to the whole thing,
Yeah.
Right.
and she got to carry it through her spawn.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Did you guys like how ultimately they beat the game? Like how she respawned and fell and handed off the
Well, he swore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that action packed enough for you?
Not really.
I didn't think it needed to be that action-packed.
Yeah.
I thought that. And then the
Thrilling. Was it thrilling enough for you?
Not really, because as soon as she respawns, you know, oh, it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
You kind of know. It was very predictable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she dies, and then you know.
Because she was like,
she's going to fall out of the sky.
I'm getting bit.
Yeah. And also, death in this game happens at a very strange pace. A character gets bit, and then she dies immediately. She gets shot earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And she dies, but like delayed.
Yeah.
And then one dude who
got hit by the mosquito. Yeah.
His number started to fade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, how does...
They gave him mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
They gave
breathe
them life.
It back.
Yeah.
There should have been a number counting down above his head. That would have been
cool. Something pop up like when they touch themselves and their attributes come up.
That's the other thing. When he got bit by the mosquito, they were like, oh, someone give him mouth to mouth. And she was giving him, well, Jack Black's character was giving Jonas mouth to mouth, and she gave him life. Gave him basically life back because he was going to die.
And took one of hers away.
And took one of hers away, which
yeah.
We were just kind of like, really?
Yeah.
But then I brought up the point, too, like, if you've got, like, a med pack in a game and you go and, like, revive a character, that's kind of like you're giving up your life for them to be revived.
But they didn't have that healer portion, you know, like in a game anymore. It's always like there's that
character
one
who is a healer.
So they never said this person was a healer or a doctor. Besides the one guy was a doctor, but you can be called a doctor, not really be.
Because he was like a archaeologist or something.
Yeah, so there wasn't no healer for. I think they kind of missed out on that. They could have had just maybe that guy could have been a healer as well.
Also, Jerry brought up the good thing we're in a pretty empty theater because we did a lot of talking during this movie. Jerry brought up a really good point. You find out early on in the movie that I keep wanting to call him Martin Lawrence.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart, thank you. I don't know why.
I want to say so many things, but
I know.
that was the other podcast.
Jerry brought up a good point. When you see that he is his cake is his weakness, you're left to wonder, is he, just irresistibly drawn to cake? How is this going to come back in the movie? They literally bring it back for one scene where he eats cake and explodes, wrecks the place. And Jerry looked over at me and he goes, at the end of the movie, he's going to eat cake and explode. He's going to use one of his lives to explode and save the day that way.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a lot better.
Does not happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Just a joke.
It kind of happens. It happens to the girl. Her weakness is venom. She gets bit, saves the day. But it just didn't happen to him.
Yeah,
but
they could have used it like hand in hand.
I see that.
Like
Kevin Hart
it should have
exploded, wrecked the place.
Yeah. It should have been something like they were all standing there, and the guy's got him, and he's like, "Look, I'm gonna kill such and such, blah blah or whatever," And Kevin Hart was just like, "Well, you know what? We've got to get out of here."
Pulls a piece of cake.
Out, eats it, blows everybody up.
Yeah.
He goes away. They respawn. And they go and beat the game.
Did he have any? But how many lives did he have left? But that's the other thing.
If they would have wrote it that way, he could have.
He could have been kidnapped, much like Jack Black's character gets kidnapped, and he's being held at gunpoint, and then you say, "Well, can I have one last request?
Let me
y'all got some cake."
Yeah.
And give him some of that famous pound cake we sell here.
Yeah.
And then he eats and explodes and wrecks the place.
Dude, we so could have wrote a better Jumanji.
Yeah.
Dead serious.
Oh, yeah.
We so could have wrote a better Jumanji.
Definitely.
I was surprised. I really was surprised at the end of the movie, or when it looked like the movie was wrapping up, that they weren't going to bring that cake. Like, the cake thing was one joke.
He did bring it back. He said something about it.
What do you mean?
He said something like, "Cake makes me explode."
He references it.
He references it. Yeah. They never really, it didn't come back.
Yeah, because he was talking about, he was like, mosquitoes in the middle of the jungle doesn't make a lot of sense. And he looked at me, he was just like, "Dude, cake makes me explode."
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was the last you heard of it.
Yeah.
What kind of weakness is cake making somebody explode, though?
Yeah.
They all had, mosquitoes, venom.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't eat cake. It's like, what?
That's a joke they should have just not had in the movie.
Yeah.
Did Jack Black's endurance thing ever come up? Because endurance was his weakness,
But he was out. He outran Kevin Hart though.
Yeah.
When they were running the field, he started to outrun him. So that's the thing I didn't.
Wasn't Kevin Hart's weakness speed?
Speed.
Yeah. He definitely outran him, but he didn't.
his endurance.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like it never came up as like a reference. Like,
No.
Right.
yeah,
It was just the fact that he can read maps really good.
yeah, that was the only.
That was the other thing. Just because he was like a cartographer, he was the only person that could read the map. Seriously. And what was up with the map missing
I was
the
gonna
corner?
say, where's the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had the whole corner. They talked about it for like 10
the
minutes.
missing piece, but the missing piece was Nick Jonas.
Right.
But there's still that. It still wasn't there.
Yeah.
Man.
Like
But
you can't have an incomplete map, man.
Well, and
You
the
know?
fact that the piece of the map was where the pearl went out. Well, whatever the hell was the rock they had to go to. That piece was never on that map. You know? What
Yeah,
I mean?
it was. Remember, he says it's the defenders. You know.
I don't remember that.
Did you notice, like in many video games now, when they were in one area, it would like show more detail
Yeah.
because they were there, and then as they went to different area, that area would begin to show more detail. Kind of like when you're in GTA,
Yeah.
like when you go to a different part of the map, it'll be visible.
a lot
when
of
you go
games are
look
like
at it.
that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why originally that big Jaguar
Wasn't there.
tower thing wasn't there.
Okay.
But then at the end, when they're standing there and all the things light up, and there's like, oh, it says the defenders, like you see it on the map.
Yeah.
So,
So the missing piece was Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't a part of the map at all,
Right.
which it's just an incomplete map, and it makes me mad. You know?
Yeah. Then they talked about it. That's the thing.
Well, it was the way the movie would give false kind of the game would give false information, because the girl who's Jack Black, her name in the game was Shelley something, and then it said curvy scientist as her description, like Karen Gillan's Ruby Roundhouse was the man killer
Yeah.
or something like that, killer of men, and his was curvy genius, and turned out it was Jack Black.
the opposite.
And then
Well,
missing
Jack Black's
piece,
definitely curvy.
the climb, when you
well, it
see
was opposite,
the
male, female.
Yeah.
when you see the elephant, you can begin the climb or something like that.
Yeah.
And he thought it was to climb the tree, and he used a life doing that. And then he sees Kevin Hart riding the elephant, and now is his distraction to ride the motorcycle up the mountain.
What if the
Climb
elephant never
the mountain.
came there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So
It was really coy language. But
So-
all in all, okay, so definitive thing. If this was on TV, or if I had like nothing to do on a Sunday and I owned this DVD, I wouldn't mind watching it. I thought it's a good, like, you guys want to watch Jumanji kind of thing. Like I would watch. I know it. And like stack it up against other comedies or action comedies. It's not
Not that great.
but it's not like god awful. You know what I mean? It has charm in my book.
it's got
It's
Somewhat.
fast.
certain
It
parts
has
that are
good speed.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of slow moments in the movie.
No, definitely not.
So
But you know, anytime something's going to happen because you hear the damn
the jungle
jungle
drum,
drums going off.
that happens in the
So-
original though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even if you're just like sitting around your house not paying attention to it, and you wanted to see the action scenes, you just listen for the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I better go walk back in the living room now and watch this because
Yeah.
If
I
I
know
had a
something's gonna happen.
Sunday to watch a movie,
it would not be Jumanji.
it would not be the
Yeah.
second Jumanji. It'd be if I would watch the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though the CGI or whatever in the first one probably looks like teetotal crap now, I'd still watch the first one. Just because probably more nostalgic than anything.
I've actually watched the original one here recently.
don't look
and
that
it's
bad.
not bad.
Yeah.
No.
Like the scene with the monkeys, like when the monkeys are in the car and they shoot the gun and
Yeah.
they're jumping all over the car. That's probably the worst CGI part of that movie, too.
Right.
The little boy
myself,
with the
yeah.
monkey face.
Yeah.
Gets pretty CGI.
Yeah. But
There was some stuff from the movie, the first movie, that they could have called back on, like what year is it?
mhm.
That would have been a good,
Yeah,
like, funny
yeah.
when Nick Jonas realizes that he's
And hindsight, looking back on it, if he was just going to go back to when he was sucked out of the game originally, why would they even bring up that he's been in the game for 20 years?
just to make
you know.
him feel bad.
yeah, just to make him feel bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, dude, you've been in the game for 20 years. That's why
Like
they're like, Kevin Hart, You got to be a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that doesn't pay off anything.
No, like there's no point in that. Like the cake thing. Like why even bring it up? It's not going to come back.
Like if there was like a thing like your house was in ruins, your dad was destroyed.
You're not going to tell him that.
Yeah, like in the original one.
Dead, bro.
In the original one, they tell him, they're like, look, you've been in there for X amount of years.
Well, he comes back to the real world as an older man.
Right.
And he sees the change that happened to his world. You know, like
right.
The girl was like, "You were dead. People mourned you."
Yeah.
You know, I mean that would be that.
But they didn't do that in this one. They literally the scene was like a minute long.
Yeah.
And
where they kind of just joked about it.
They were like, "What year do you think it is?" And he's like, "1996." And then they were like, "Ooh." And then Kevin Hart's just like, "You've been stuck in this game for 20 years." You know. And then that was it. Like there was no, like, dude, your house is a wreck now. Your dad is totally distraught and crazy, and nobody goes by your house because it's creepy.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of like a legend. You know, they didn't tell that kid that. You know.
And he flashes back. He's an adult.
Yeah.
And he has a baby.
Named Bethany after the girl who saved him
his life.
Yeah.
In the video game.
Ah, God, the more we pick this movie
I know.
apart, the more
I don't like it.
I know.
I don't like this movie.
The song choice for the sexy dance fighting too was not.
Yeah,
a
they
good
should have
song.
picked something.
Should have been way cooler, a much more upbeat song.
Steel Panther or something.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hooked on.
No, I'm thinking of the Ooga Chaka. Ooga.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
one
it.
I'm thinking of.
That's the same.
Is that the same song?
Yeah.
Well, there's another song that I'm thinking of.
Don't say that.
I know. There's another song that I'm trying to think of that's more jungly.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
That would have been.
They
could have like
that would have been
like
better.
recognized
Yeah.
it or something like that.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, Billy Joel. I mean, come on.
Nah.
Yeah.
Totally should have went with something.
What was this? It was a Billy Joel song. I didn't.
I think it was Billy Joel, wasn't it?
What song was it again? I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot what it was too.
Crap.
You sang it. You just sang it.
No, you didn't.
I thought he did.
No.
Oh.
I can't even think of what
I
it
can't
was.
think of what
I
it
think
is.
it was Billy Joel.
But they
though.
played
I thought it was Lionel Richie for some reason, but
They played it like 3 or 4 times through the whole
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, they played the
Every
dance
time
scene
that
at the end, and then somewhere else. I can't remember.
it should have been a way more fast-paced
It
song.
should have been something
But
more danceable than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
going back to what you said when they found Nick Jonas, they should have said, "What year is it?"
Yeah.
Dude, that like when you said that, I was like, dude, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Having been like, what year is it?
That should have been the first thing that he said when
Yeah.
he found him. Like after they got away or whatever.
And like he'd only been gone for a couple months,
Yeah.
right? So how long do you think that they were gone inside the game? Because no matter what, they came back to their original date.
Right.
It was like a day. It seemed like
I know.
like maybe like 2 hours. My other thing is that
But that would have been like 3 or 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Nick Jonas got them out of that little town that they were in by like going through the sewers.
Mhm.
So he knows he's all like, "Oh yeah, lean against this wall," or "Hold up, stop." Like if he knows all of this, why didn't he tell them? You know, instead of like waiting to the last second to tell them to move out of the
Right.
way.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like well,
They-
we're gonna walk 4 steps, just hang to the
You're
wall.
gonna see some serious stuff down here.
Yeah.
Listen to my command.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Or like why didn't he just deactivate the traps for good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Because he had to spend time
Been there
practicing
for 20
that.
years,
Yeah.
you know. Figure that stuff out, man.
Maybe he just did it so no one followed him. But
Yeah.
like I said, he could have at least been like, "Yeah, hold on, we got all this stuff coming up. This you gotta
Just
like
little-
lean against this wall. We're gonna walk across this plank. Don't go in front of these blades." I don't know. I thought that was just kind of stupid.
Yeah, like why not just keep the plank there all
Yeah.
the time?
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
they spawn. They come out of like a closet like Narnia. It's like, oh look, now we're
Yeah,
in the open.
literally
It's
like out in the middle of the woods somewhere or
Yeah.
jungle, I guess we should say.
Yeah, and they didn't explain that at all either. So I was that a level, and it was a level change. I guess that's what it was.
I don't know. And the whole cutscene thing in the beginning, I thought they'd do more with that.
Right.
You know,
Because the
Cutscene.
guy tells him, hey, read the map aloud. And then he starts reading it aloud. Then the guy starts talking over him. Then they cut to a cutscene. And then they talk about the fact that they're in a cutscene.
yeah, like hey, I think we're in a cutscene.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
that the actors within the game, the NPCs, the fact that they would repeat themselves and
That
like,
was
they are
funny.
constantly like they didn't talk like normal people. Like when Karen Gillan is trying to flirt with those guys, and they
Yeah.
keep just going, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah, all alone by
Yeah.
yourself.
I was hoping for a guy to be like, "But I took an arrow to the knee." You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah. Skyrim.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if you got that or not. I took a bullet to the knee. I don't know. That was the big funny joke in Skyrim. Okay, I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
It's all right, man. Tell us how you feel, man.
It's cool.
Overall,
I had a good time watching it, but you're right. I don't feel any need to ever watch this movie again.
Yeah,
No.
dude, we picked this apart. pretty
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah.
man. I mean, and I hate to do that because I mean,
Because we like to do that. We're here
Yeah.
to do that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, essentially, we are. We are here to pick apart movies. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I have no desire to watch it again. I'm sure my kids are going to be like, "Daddy, I want to watch Jumanji."
Show him the first one.
Oh, they have. They love the
Okay,
first one.
okay, cool.
I've watched it 1,000 times. With
I
them.
can't wait to have kids to show them that movie. It's
It-
one of my favorite movies.
You should have a kid just to
Just to show them
name
the
it Jumanji. Hi, little Jumanji.
Yeah.
You're not gonna suck like that other sequel.
It's just a bad sequel to me. I don't like it.
I mean, when I really think about it, was it a good movie? No.
The hype behind it was the actors. I
Yeah.
think that's what made it so popular. And the
Yeah.
name. The name and the actors, and that was it.
Can we say that it goes with the first movie though?
I don't think it does.
Somewhat.
Some
In
bits and
spirit?
pieces, yeah, in spirit. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's a good like nod, but not really. I would have been happier if like it wasn't a video game. They were just playing the game, and then they got sucked in like Alan Parrish did.
Yes. Just sucked into a board game.
Yeah,
Don't
just
be
sucked into the
into a video game.
Yeah, just have them all four of them get sucked into the board game,
Yeah.
and then they got to fight their way out.
Yeah.
And they could have set it up for sequels if they would have done it like they're sucked into the game and they stay stuck in the game. You know, keep going back to them in the game, and then like in 12 sequels later, they finally get out, or something like that.
They try
Yeah.
to modernize it too much. Like,
Yeah.
instead of finding a game system and that whole stupid story of it transferring, that was dumb. They could have just, okay, here's a board game in the middle of in the donation box in the middle of school. Why not just pull out and everybody's, hey, everybody, you just want to play games instead of pulling apart these stupid magazines?
Right.
And get sucked in. That would have been the best. That would have been way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. There's a lot of good missed opportunities here. Like,
What year is it? Gosh,
They
man.
went for the money grab
yeah,
and not the integrity grab. I definitely think they lost a lot of integrity with this.
hmm
And they perfectly set it up where there won't be a sequel because
Right.
they literally smashed
the
it.
game.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm cool with that
Cool with
too.
that. I could do a remake of the first one, and
That would be a lot better.
it would be, but it's no Robin Williams, man.
If they rebooted it completely and do like I said, have everybody get sucked into the game, make it a trilogy, have in the third movie they get out. They finally beat the game.
right.
That would be better, I think. And I was totally against them even touching this movie, sequel, reboot, anything. But at this point, after seeing that, I would much, much, much rather see a reboot. Maybe even have it just like the first one, but at the end, they all get sucked in. The second one is them stuck in the game trying to get out. And then the third one is them trying to get out and finally getting out. But I don't know if there is a way to get out once you're in there.
Besides beating the game.
Besides beating the game or having somebody else come in and play the game and
Get them out.
yeah, I don't know, you'd have to do a lot of tying in to get that to work, I guess.
I just think
Yeah.
we should have wrote this.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better. That's for
Heat-seeking
dang sure.
missiles.
Yeah, but yeah,
Who was the director on this movie? Do you know?
Oh, it's sad, and he's a pretty
Oh,
big
yeah.
name, but
I can't remember who directed it.
I know Tim knows a lot about directors and stuff.
Jake Kasdan.
Yeah,
And Jake
don't know what he's
Kasdan is
done,
known
though.
for Walk Hard.
he did Walk Hard.
He's a producer, director.
The Dewey Cox
of-
story?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Oh, that's a good one, man.
Is it?
You ain't never seen it?
I ain't never seen it.
Maybe we'll have to do that one day.
Oh, he did direct Walk Hard.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Is that-
Orange County.
Oh
with,
my gosh.
With Jack Black?
He did Orange County?
5 episodes of Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, wow.
When did Orange County come out? I know it's kind of
Ooh.
off subject, but that was like my first big like R or PG-13 rated movie.
2002.
Really?
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. I liked it. I thought it was
liked
good.
it too. But you know what the thing is? I saw it in theaters. It's my first like big like movie. I don't remember it. I vaguely
it's all right.
remember that movie. It's like I saw Out Cold too, and I vaguely remember that. And it was kind of stupid.
Out Cold was all right. It wasn't like, oh my God, this movie's great. It's going to be a classic one day.
Yeah,
But it was like, oh man, it's a fun movie to take your date to because you
Yeah.
can totally not pay attention to it.
exactly.
It
Did he
was
direct
alright.
anything else?
Just a couple episodes of TV shows.
So how did he get this gig, man?
I guess Walk Hard and.
Is Walk Hard that good though for him to get a
Oh,
job?
Walk
Walk
Hard's
Hard's
really
awesome,
good, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, that's basically a Will Ferrell movie,
Yeah,
really.
but with not Will Ferrell.
No, the
The
other
other guy.
guy.
I always forget his name. Dude is gonna hit me.
He has 3 names, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of what his name is either.
Well,
I don't know. But that's going to be a wrap for us, folks.
Well, are we gonna what? Do you want to go with wash it or squash it?
I think it's pretty unanimous here.
3, 2, 1.
Squash it. Yeah, definitely not worth the time or the money. Your kids will probably like it because kids are easily entertained, but we're grown men and we have no need for this movie.
Yeah. So
So,
let's put that on the seen it list.
yeah.
And to not seen it again list.
Yeah, I definitely would not want to see it again,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
John C. Riley.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's it
Thank
right
you.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's God. Put some dinosaurs on there.
Oh, yeah.
Brain gotta poop. Oh, we can't say anything else.
No. But that is going to be a wrap for us right now, folks. We appreciate you guys tuning in to our rookie episode.
It was very rookie episode
yeah.
for me.
It happens, man. You know, it's all right. I'll give you a hug later.
It's cool.
We'll hug it out. It's okay. But tune in next week. We're going to have an all brand new episode for you. Be sure to check out our Twitter and our Instagram, our Facebook page. You'll find out what the movie is going to be. We probably should have decided on that already. But did we decide on it?
We haven't
I don't
yet.
say we have not.
I don't think so.
No. So be sure to check us out. Instagram, Twitter, like I said, Facebook. That's probably going to be the easiest way to get a hold of us. Or to follow us or whatever to get all the latest information. Anyway,
Or to be a future guest, maybe.
yeah, if you want to come on and you want to watch a movie with us, just hit us up. I've already had a couple people hit us up, like, hey, I want to come on and watch a movie.
really?
You guys? Yeah, a couple
Awesome.
people. Maybe like a handful. Not quite half a dozen, but definitely more than like
2,
one.
3.
You know, we're talking 3, 4, lots of people.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I don't think we had really anybody out of the ordinary watching us tonight.
I think Den of Thieves comes out next week.
Oh, yeah.
19th, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it
Next
19th?
week.
I am so excited for that movie.
Yeah, Den of Thieves looks good. You guys want to do Den of Thieves?
Yeah.
Okay.
When's that come out?
Friday,
So
next
it comes
week.
out next Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because today was the 11th. No,
You're right,
Friday's
it
the
is.
12th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be the 19th, so Den of Thieves. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm definitely excited about Den of Thieves.
Oh, man. Those are my favorite type of movies right there.
Yeah. That little teaser that you sent me earlier, oh, man.
Is that the guy who directed Crank and all that?
Ooh,
I
that
think
I
so.
don't know.
I'm pretty sure. We'll have to check that out.
I've watched like all the clips of that today on YouTube, but that's here nor there.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to shoot for like early. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't be next week. It would be the week after,
Maybe
right?
the week after, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna take like a little over a week off and all that fun stuff. And
Or we
we'll-
could just do a regular movie or a show that we've, it's been out for a while.
what? Yeah. But yeah, just follow us on social media. You'll figure out what we're gonna do. That being said, I'm your host, Jerry Saylor,
I'm Dusty B.
I'm Tim Holmes.
and that's a wrap.
We seen it.